ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मण कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोध सिद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक संस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्ति कल्याणार्थं समस्त साधक भक्त सेवक उपासकानां विघ्न निवारण शक्ति सामर्थ्य संपदा साधनावाप्त्यर्थं श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं गीता जयंती विषये गीता द्वितीय अध्याय से पारायण वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं। Let us do the chanting of the fourth chapter of Shwetashvatara. You are there. Once we conclude it, that will be a great joy that we have done Parayanam of all 11 Upanishads. ॐ अथ श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदा शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। ॐ य एको वर्णो बहुधा शक्तियोगात् वर्णाननेकान् निहितार्थो दधाति विचैति चान्ते विश्वमादौ स देवः स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो तदेवाग्निस्तदादित्यः तद्वायुस्तदुचन्द्रमाः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदापस्तत्प्रजापतिः। त्वं स्त्री त्वं पुमानसि त्वं कुमारौ तवा कुमारी त्वं जीर्णो दण्डेन वञ्चसि त्वं जातो भवसि विश्वतो मुखः नीलपतङ्गो हरितो लोहिताक्षः तडिद्गर्भऋतवः समुद्राः अनादिमत्वं विभुत्वेन वर्तसे यतो जातानि भुवनानि विश्वा अजामेकां लोहितशुक्लकृष्णां बह्वीः प्रजाः सृजमानां स्वरूपाः अजो हि कोजुषमाणोऽनुशेते जहात्येनां भुक्तभोगामजोऽन्यः द्वासुपर्णा सयुजा सखाय समानं वृक्षं परिषस्व जाते तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्नन्नन्यो अभिचाकशेते समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमेषम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः रुचो अक्षरे परमे व्योमन् यस्मिन् देवा अधिविश्वे निषेदुः यस्तं न वेद किं रुचा करिष्यते य इत्तद्विदुस्त इमे समासते छन्दांसि यज्ञाः क्रतवो व्रतानि भूतं भव्यं यच्च वेदा वदन्ति अस्मान्मायी सृजते विश्वमेतत् तस्मिंश्चान्यो मायया सन्निरुद्धः मायां तु प्रकृतिं विद्यात् मायिनं तु महेश्वरं तस्य मायिनं च महेश्वरं तस्यावयवभूतैस्तो व्याप्तं सर्वमिदं जगत् यो योनिं योनिमधितिष्ठत्येकः यस्मिन्निदं संच विचैति सर्वं तमीशानं वरदं देवमीड्यं निचाय्ये मां शान्तिमत्यन्तमेते यो देवानां प्रभवश्चोद्भवश्च विश्वाधिपो रुद्रो महर्षिः हिरण्यगर्भं पश्यते जायमानं स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो यो देवानाम् अधिपो यस्मिन् लोकाः अधिश्रिताः य ईशे अस्य द्विपदः चतुष्पदः तस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम सूक्ष्मातिसूक्ष्मं कलिलस्य मध्ये विश्वस्य स्रष्टारमनेकरूपं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा शिवं शान्तिमत्यन्तमेते स एव काले भुवनस्य गोप्ता विश्वाधिपः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः यस्मिन् युक्ता ब्रह्मर्षयो देवताश्च तमेवं ज्ञात्वा मृत्युपाशांश्छिनत्ति घृतात् परं मण्डमिवातिसूक्ष्मं ज्ञात्वा शिवं सर्वभूतेषु गूढं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः एष देवो विश्वकर्मा महात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः हृदा मनीषा मनसा विक्लुप्तः य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ते यदा तमस्तन्न दिवा न रात्रिः न सन्न चासन् शिव एव केवलः तदक्षरं तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं प्रज्ञा च तस्मात् प्रसृता पुराणी नैनमूर्ध्वं न तिर्यं च न मध्ये परिजग्रभतो न तस्य प्रतिमा अस्ति यस्य नाम महत् यशः न सन्दृशे तिष्ठति रूपमस्य न चक्षुषा पश्यति कश्चनैनं हृदा हृदिस्थं मनसा च य एनम् एवं विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ते अजात इत्येवं कश्चिद्भीरुः प्रपद्यते रुद्रयत्ते दक्षिणं मुखं तेन मां पाहि नित्यं मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो माशु गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्र भामितो वदीः हविष्मन्तः सत् अमित त्वाहवामहे ओम शान्तिः 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 ओम अतः श्रीकृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनाम्हे व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत् तद्वक्तारमावीत् आवीन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिते ते तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवते ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Salutations to entire Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishis, Munis, Gurus, Devatas, also to Parabrahma Shruti Mata. Salutations to Veda Vyasa, Vaishampayana, Yagnavalkya Adya Shankara, and our own personal Gurus. Salutations to Bhagavan Krishna, Geetha Mata. Today is the most auspicious day of Geetha Jayanti. Brahma Vidya is a continuous, constant, throughout life pursuit till the Brahmanubhuti comes and we firmly, fully establish in it. Till that time, the risks are there for us to be back falling into the worldliness. Until that time, all the struggles and efforts of sacrifices and sadhanas you and I have to do. There is no second thought opinion about it. There is nothing to simplify it. The only way of simplifying the spiritual sadhana is just by accepting it and keeping on developing our own abilities, developing our own variety of beautiful qualities of convictions, the commitments, the readiness to work hard, readiness to sacrifice. Only when these are made stronger, then the sadhana becomes easier. Just like in the world also, no achievement is easier, whether it is education, whether it is earning the money through profession or business, or it is maintaining, managing the family in a good humor, making all of them happy. All are tough, all are difficult. But how it is becoming manageable by the people for them? Because they accepted it. Because whatever required to make it easy, those qualities they obtained. They love the job, they love the family, all those things. In spirituality also, left to itself, left to ourselves, it is very hard, tough. We can never do. Therefore, never progress spiritually, continue as a samsari. No, no, we are enchanted by it. We want the ultimate goal. Then, till the goal is achieved, all required effort, sacrifices of, all comforts we have to do, and this consistent listening, then study, then without forgetting, the meaning of those mantras, doing contemplation and all. No, this is not as easy as said, because while doing all that, the other life of our own management of duties, all other prarabdhas of sukha dukkha, more than all that, the terrible vasanas, even more than all of them, the comfort zone we are in of identifying with our upadhis and living as upadhi, they are the bigger than the biggest, tougher than the toughest challenges. When I lived as a Dehadi Upadhi from so many lives, it will have its own impact on me of disturbing me with variety of things at those levels. The body wants sleep, the senses want the objects, the mind wants to have attachments to the things and beings. Buddhi still wants to gather information of this world, which is actually mithya. All these, it's not an overnight job. And if you only struggle to eliminate this without attending to the Paramatma, then why we are doing it, there is no meaning at all to him. Okay, keeping all this aside, just we will pursue Paramatma through Upanishad Adhyanam. Every moment ye thokte rahenge. All these things will go on, creating embediments every moment. Okay, both of them simultaneously will manage when we say, then the prarabdhas, then the world, and the timings in which we are there, and also, most importantly, the obligations, duties we have to do to the world. If not, they won't spare us. All put together is Adhyatmic sadhana. It is never easy, never going to be easy, never ever it was just like that easy for anyone, everyone throughout the history of period of history. But whoever have day in and day out through their own matured in learning the arts of managing, they could make it consistently. So you and I also give our own mind intellect for understanding and see all the difficulties that are there in sadhana. Then among them, how the things can be made at each of the at difficulty level we have to see. Some of the things we cannot avoid, like the age is growing, becoming the old. So ये तो आप reverse नहीं कर सकते. But some things like the mind's distractions can be curtailed through vivek and vairagya. The time can be that way conserved by not going for all the unwanted things. In this way, and also by remembering our gurus or in their company, we can really continuously get inspired for the goal. All of them are required. So put together is called the Adhyatmic Sadhana. One among them is the Shravanam. We are trying our best to do the Shravanam of the Upanishads, three Gita Adi and all our Bhagavata, Ramayana Adi Shastra. The only thing indicated by all of them is Paramatma. Therefore, the only purpose of ours to study all of them is again Paramatma. He is to be understood and the means to reach him to be practiced, and we have to experience him. That is our goal. There is no second important goal. Any goal more important than that. Everything is secondary to it and not required also by us. So let us continue struggling to understand every word of the Upanishad and hold it in our heart and try to use it on the seat of contemplation. काय का contemplation स्वामी जी? स्वामी इस क्लास में थोड़ा वो जो समझ में आने लगता है आने का, when we sit for meditation, mind is in such a kshipta mode of vikshipta bhumika that we are not able to even do the japa properly. We are trying from last 40 years. You understand? And this is a big subject again. We will not enter into that. It is not in context now. Yes, one thing can be said is what? We are innocent in doing, but we are also innocent in undoing all the sadhana done by giving importance to the word in our mind. Therefore, mind is never controlled. Mind is controlled only when in the mind whatever thoughts are there, in the thoughts whatever the contents are there, when they are devalued. Without doing that, the mind will run only. But these small things we don't listen or understand. Therefore, all through life struggling only to do japa, only to do upasana, never ever coming to the level of intellect, thinking, and contemplation, as we discussed yesterday, introduction class. So चलता ही ऐसा ही सिलसिला. Nothing wrong in this. This is what for everyone. जो कच्चा रोड में जाते हैं लोग, तो नथिंग न्यू दैट यू हैव ए बिग कार, यू आर नो साइकिल वाला, रिक्शा, स्कूटर वाला, एवरीबॉडी हैड टू गो थ्रू दैट पाथ ओनली. In the same way, the spiritual path is same for everyone. Each one, their ability, their negotiability, their own equipments are the vehicles which they made that makes the journey for them particularly easier, comfortable, or difficult. But the road remains same. So we are not exceptions, we are also the same. But we have started, Gurus are there with us, Shruti Mata is there with us, Parabrahma Bhagavan is there with us, our Ishtadevas are with us. We are praying to them, we are invoking their grace. Definitely, this knowledge will really take us toward the ultimate. And may we, by our effort, consciously attend to it without giving any break. That should be our job. Break diya to gaya, फिर again we are lost into the worldliness. Again to pull it back, like 3 days if you don't come to class, fourth day when you come, you don't know what is the sequence going on. Then you feel so disturbed, frustrated. Then you say अब छूट ही गया, चलो छोड़ ही देते हैं. One fraction of second जैसे accident के लिए काफ़ी होता है. One fraction of losing the faith is enough for us to take away us totally away from the spirituality. We have to really guard ourselves. And I believe when we have faith in Guru and prayers to him, he extends his prayers to Ishvara In turn, the Ishvara blesses us not to lose confidence or not to forget the goal. So, in our mind, that is reminded. Whenever we are reminded of our goal, our class, it is only Ishvara Krupa, and that is because of Guru's reminding or requesting the Ishvara to remind us. And that's because we have that bhakti for our Guru. Have that bhakti saranagati to Guru. Guru recommends to Bhagavan. Bhagavan induces into us those sattvika vrittis of wanting to come to class, listen to the knowledge, gain it, practice it. These are all not our thoughts. No thought is ours. All thoughts are in the universe all the time. Whatever we tune, we get that. When we tune to Guru through the God, these noble thoughts keep on coming to us. Then we can really do whatever we can at every day or every life level and little higher. In this life, through the study of Upanishads, there are Upanishads, there are Bhashyas. In them, Paramatma is indicated. Sadhana to reach him also told this much faith, if it is developed, good. Along with that, in any of the Upanishads, some mantras are understood and we are trying to contemplate on that. That is very good. Through that contemplation, we have come to the conviction about Jagan Mithya, Brahman alone Satyam. You are very good. And after conviction, more deeper meditation, where Mithya Jagat, inner and outer rejected, pure self is apprehended, experienced, not you are good or very good, you are ultimate. You have reached out. So, having said so, now let us come to our Taittiriya Upanishad. Good, we started second Brahmananda Valli. We saw the introductory Bhashyam. We took up the Shanti Mantra. Of that also we saw the Bhashyam. Then the first Valli, Anuvakam. For that Bhashyakaras Avatarika we saw. Then we have taken up the first mantra. In that Anuvakam, first mantra, first line we have seen. That is the Sutra Bhuta Vakya for the entire Ditya Valli. What is that? Brahma Vidapnoti Param. This we have seen. And only when we study the Bhashya, all the intricacies, all the things to be understood are known, we come to know. So the two main things which we have to catch in the introductory Bhashyam as well as the explanation to the first one is what? Ki Brahma Paramatma is darshana adarshana apekshitatvat prapti apraptyoho. That's the main thing. Brahma adarshana is aprapti. Brahma darshana is prapti. Otherwise, Brahman is never away from us. Our adarsana is because of our extrovertedness. Our identity with the Panchopadhi and all. How to sort out all Panchopadhi, that's going to be the theme in the entire Upanishad. Thus, the Upanishad or Shruti or Guru comes and replaces the Adarsanam by Darshanam. And what he does, only makes us shift our own attention from the Anatma to our own self. Immediately, because of the Darshanam, the Prapti happens. So, the Aprapti is replaced by the Prapti. So, darshana apekshitatvat brahmanaha prapti apraptyoho. Contemplate on this as much as possible till you get the conviction. What a conviction? I am already Brahman, but I am not having darshana. Therefore, it is appearing to be aprapto. But when you have darshana, I can have prapti. And the darshana is what? Shruti Guru, what they indicate. Accordingly, when I do outer inner sadhana and contemplate, the darshana will happen. And big obstacles are our upadhi and tadatma and asanga chittata. They anyway have to be given up. There's no way. Don't give options in the mind. One of the important reason because of which our sadhana and progress gets delayed is we keep options. We keep alternatives. Like with the people also. They leave us and go. Still we keep an option and alternative. They will come tomorrow, they will come day after tomorrow. Don't give option. गए तो गए आए तो आने तो देखेंगे but आ तो गए. Drop the thought. So many things in that life, because of keeping the option, we have the expectation or asha for it. Then the main thing to do which we have committed, that we are not able to do. What is the asha here? We keep in spirituality. While person spirituality is still the world can give us sukha. Still the world can make us happy, bhoga. These options we keep. Still the world also may be real along with Brahman. ऐसा नहीं रखना. Only through Brahma Prapti Moksha, we have to be very convinced about it. Therefore, I have to have the Brahma Darshanam for Brahma Prapti to be mukta from Jiva Deha Tadat. See how many thousands of times we have to listen this one for it to enter into the deep core of the heart and change from there, or bring the change there, of our all other desires, convictions for the non-Brahma. So this is one. And all this, Atma Darshana, Atma or Brahma Prapti, leading to the liberation and all, in 4 steps we have to do. That also is the thing as a summary we have to gather from what we have studied so far. And what is that? Shravana, Grahana, Dharana, Abhyasa, Anubhuti. Feel the meaning of each one of them. Shravana is hearing in the class, listening. Grahana means grasping. Dharanam is upholding. And Abhyasam is implementing it, practicing it. Through that only the Vidya becomes firm and it eliminates the Avidya. After which the Adarshana is replaced by Darshana, then the Aprapti by the Prapti, and the Praptasya Prapti, the Anubhuti is I am that. I am not any of these. And other than me, there is nothing. Clear? This is what is said. Now, same thing now for the as an introduction to second sentence, Bhagavan Adi Shankara tells. And this needs little closer observing study by us. From here onwards, the next 1 week of our study of the Upanishad with Bhashyakara's Bhashya, in which the Purvak Pakshis Prashnas are there. Uttara is given by the Guru Maharaj Vedanthin. They are little tough nuts to crack. Very subtle things they are. Mm. 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 In class, anything urgent? In class, I am. Anything urgent? Mm. So, only very important I do. These two things, when we catch them, one, darshana apekshitatvat brahmanaha praptya praptyoho, and that Brahma darshanam leading to Brahma prapti, leading to moksha from jiva dehadi samsara, depends on shravana, grahana, dharana, as well as an abhyasa. Now, this is Brahmavida Apnoti Param explained. And what we have to carry as a main point in that, knower of Brahman obtains obtains the ultimate Param. And that ultimate and supreme is Brahman only. Therefore, knower of Brahman attains Brahman. Therefore, our job is to know we are already Brahman. This main sentence we should never forget. Now, when it is strengthened more and more, in that strengthening of the thought that I am Brahman, I have to know my Brahma Tattva and establish in it, automatically I am not Jiva or Deha, that thoughts become stronger, which is very essential. One day suddenly it clicks, when I am not Jiva and Deha, why I am hankering around all these things which are strengthening my Jiva Deha Bhava and binding me to samsara? Those thoughts come from within. Then slowly the samsara creating way of lifestyle is reduced. Then Brahma Tattva Anubhuti leading lifestyle or sadhana starts in us. Maybe this life, next life, let us go on doing, it will happen one day. Okay. Now the second mantra, for that Bhagavan gives a beautiful avatarika. He says this second mantra is the quotation from the Rig Veda to explain the Brahma Tattva which is said in the first line, Lakshana. Okay, then why this Rucha is explained is given to us in the Avatarika. Then that Rucha mantra in which the Brahma Lakshana is explained, of that also initially some beautiful Bhashyam he gives. Then he explains each of the word of that mantra which indicate to us Brahma Tattva. This is what is our study for a day or two from now onwards. So let us do the Avatarika. Then the question of the Purva Bakshi, apti or anapti, is already answered through that example of the 10 people. Each one thought somebody is lost. Actually, the person lost is they only. How can they lose? Because they are always there. Because of them only the 9 are counted. But the drushti being on 9 overpoweringly, that the last person because of whom they are becoming miserable is themselves only, that they could not recognize. Although they are that never ever lost. On the base of this only all other 9 are counted. Yet because of the darshana not happened, that aprapti they were feeling and miserable. Then that Kenachit Karunikaha, he just came and did what? He did not create 10th person. He just diverted their attention from the other 9 to them. The moment it was observed, immediately imagine that thing. The 10th person is I only. The joy of discovery is so beautiful. The 10th person is not lost, it is very much there, and that is none other than me, it is me only. Each one discovered they are the one. So, every Ajnani is Ajnana of his Brahma Jnana because of his attention in the world outside. And every individual, when he turns his attention to himself and discovers himself to be that Brahma Tattva, all are in ecstatic joy. Among them, whoever tries, we are trying now through the study of Shastra to begin with, and in its maturity the time will come for us also that anumoti for that anumoti. Now this avatarika is little twisted tough, but we have to go through as we have decided academically to study. We studied sentence by sentence and we'll try to make it as it is, as easy as possible and not at all really that way difficult. I'm starting it now. We have seen half of it, I know it, I remember, but these portions are to be taught 10 times by me for my satisfaction. And you have to listen 20 times for understanding literal meaning, then indicated meaning. And continue it only, then it is retained in our hearts. Now, step by step. Brahmavid apnoti param iti vakyam sutra bhutam sarvasya valli arthasya. The entire Valli has its own purpose for which it has come. And to convey that purpose of the entire Valli for which it has come, this first sentence, Brahmavid apnoti param, is a sutra bhutam. Therefore, the entire Valli contains the two aspects. One, the sutra bhuta vakyam. Second, its vistruti, its vistara, its explanation, its expansion. It's a commentary, or what do you say, it's a detailed conveying to us. So sutra vakyam and the vyasa vakyam, the remaining sentence are its own expansion. What it's the purpose of saying this by Adi Shankara is, don't forget the sutra vakya. For making us thoroughly understand the sutra vakya alone, the entire Valli's every mantra is there. Now, how is it to be understood? You see, we want param, is it not? Everybody's goal is to achieve supreme. Supreme achieved through the Brahma Vidya only, because Brahma is already there, but we are in Avidya. Therefore, actually, not only for the second Valli, but for the entire this Upanishad and entire Upanishad literature, and also for any of the Jiva want to be sadhaka to get the Supreme, for all of them, eternally to be remembered. Sutra Vakyam is this. And through the help of this Dvitiya Valli, we understand how to achieve what is said in the Sutra Vakyam. So, Sutra Vakyam has only two things to convey: become Brahmamit, obtain the Param. Know Brahman to be Brahman. If you don't know Brahman, then you will know your own Dehadi Upadhi and you will be Dehadi Upadhi to suffer as Jiva. So clear? Sutra Vakya कभी नहीं बोलना. ब्रह्मविद आपनोति परम इति वाक्यम सूत्रभूतम सर्वस्य वल्ली अर्थस्य. How, see, if this sentence is not said, we would have studied in a continuum only these slokas like ever we do, forgetting the earlier ones. Now, because he reminded us that it is Sutra Vakya, then we feel the necessity of holding on to the Sutra Vakya. And every line, when we study further mantra, all of that is only to explain in expansion the same sentence. Because in this, the goal and means are indicated. How to work out on the means is the expanding remaining Valli. Means is Brahma Vidya, goal is Paraprapti. Param is Brahman only, so Brahma Vidya leading to Brahma Prapti. Sutra Bhotam Vakyam. Okay? Now, for that, why that Rucha quoted, that is explained. While saying so only, in the Rig Veda mantra, what are the three important things conveyed, it is explained to us. In the beginning only. Then, when the mantra is uttered, Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma, for some time he will give beautiful commentary. Each of the word he will explain thereafter. Now, what are the three reasons for which this Rucha is quoted with regard to this Sutra Vakya which we have to realize in our life, for which we have come to this class? He says, Ki Brahmavid apnoti param iti anena vakyena. By this Vakyam, the sentence Brahmavid apnoti param, in that Vedyataya Sutritasya Brahmanaha. Brahman is Sutrita there as Vedya Vastu. Means what? Sutrita means Sutra रूप बताया ना, इसलिए उसको word को repeat कर रहे हैं. So that sentence in which Brahma should be known in this way, Sutrita means precisely told. What is told in the Sutra Vakya, in the Sutra Rupa, Brahma to be known. So Vedyataya Sutritasya tas Brahmanaha. What is happened to him? Brahma, you know, you become supreme. That is told. But what is Brahman? Was it explained? No. Therefore, अनिर्धारित स्वरूप विशेषस्य, जिसका स्वरूप निर्धारण नहीं किया गया. You know Brahman, you reach Brahman, he said. But what is Brahman? Not told. Therefore, it should be told. So, in the Sutra Vakya, Swarupa Nirdharana is not done. Therefore, why the Richa Vakya? To tell us the Swarupa of that Brahman, which is told to be known in that Sutra Vakya. And it is so Sutrita in precise forms told that if you know it, you are that. Nothing else more to be known. You know it, you become supreme. Brahmavid apnoti param. In other cases, anything you know, you have to work hard and you then only achieve it. And whatever you achieve, it is not param also. Is it not? You know how to earn 1 crore rupees. Then you have to work hard according to the different means to earn it. But even that earning 1 crore is not supreme. So, सूत्र रूप में बताया कि ब्रह्मविद परम प्राप्नोति. Of this Brahman, अनिर्धारित स्वरूप. अब क्या करना है उनका? स्वरूप का निर्धारण करना है. Is it clear? Then only we can pursue. स्वरूप निर्धारण करना है. लक्षण क्या है बता रहे. Now, how this Swarupa of the Brahman has to be told? Be attentive. If it is to be the giver of the Paraprapti, then Para means supreme, then everything. The Lakshanas or the details or the Swarupa Visheshanas that are to be given of this Brahman, be attentive, must be totally exclusive to itself. Should not be overlapped with the Lakshana of anything else. Because everything else is not param, aparam it is. Then when all other are aparam, the Brahman is param, then in that apara, whatever the Swarupa Lakshana are there, they should not be there in the param. So too, whatever the param's Lakshanas are there, should not be in the aparam. exclusive. Then only it becomes exclusive. No? What differentiates one thing from the other as special? Some special qualities. अगर नहीं है तो what is the special in that? Like every day is every day. But what makes today special than yesterday and tomorrow? Today is Geetha Jayanti. The Geetha Jayanti is not every day, and today is not like every day ordinary. It has its own lakshana. In the same way, entire world has its own lakshana. This Brahman should not have those lakshanas. Point one. Then Brahman should have such separate, special, its own lakshana, which should not be found in anything else. That is the meaning of Sarvato Vyavrutta Swarupa Vishesha Samarpana Samarthasya. सर्वतो व्यावृत्त विशेष समर्पण समर्थस्य. इतना लंबा चौड़ा सेंटेंस का अर्थ क्या है? सर्वतः मीन्स एवरीथिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड, व्यावृत्त मीन्स डिवाइड ऑफ, स्वरूप मीन्स इट्स ओन नेचर, विशेषण मीन्स द लक्षणास, समर्पण सम्यक अर्पण मीन्स this is how these lakshanas of Brahman should not be there in him, their lakshana should not be there in Brahman. Samarthana Visheshana Lakshanasya Abhidanena. So by telling those lakshanas in this way, Sarupa Nirdharanaya. So it's simple thing. Second rucha is telling the Sarupa Nirdharana of Brahma, which is the Vedya Vastu told in the Sutra as a Sutra Rupa. Matlab, in a shortcut Sutra, as a shortcut thing to be done, very short. You know Brahman, you become Brahman. That Brahman which was not yet explained in its Swarupa to tell the next sentence is coming. So simple. But then, this thing, if it is not added right now in the beginning, then along with Brahman, we try to carry the load of other nonsense also. Therefore, in the beginning only is saying, the Shruti Mata and Guruka Vedika Lakshya kya hai? If Brahma Vidya should give us Brahma Param, then the Lakshanas of this Param should be something exclusive to itself. These Lakshanas should not be found in them. And that Lakshana should not be found in him. Like the doctor's Lakshanas, lawyer ka Lakshana, doctor mein, if they are found, it's an admixture. Then they are not Param. Doctor is Param in his own way, because he has all those things which are specific to him. They are not found in a lawyer. So to lawyer is Param in himself, because all his Lakshanas he has got, they are not overlapped in the doctor. In the same way, the Jagat ke Lakshana, Brahma ke Lakshana, ek hi hai. So Brahma will be a part of Jagat. Jagat is perishable, Brahman perishable. Then how can you call it a Param? So by saying this, we are given a hint in the beginning only that the Lakshanas which are going to be told about Brahman are exclusively of Brahman. In other way, those Lakshana Yukta Brahma, when you pursue, you reach to Brahman. And the descriptions are required. Now, when you are searching a person anywhere, told by somebody, you ask for the Lakshana, accordingly only you find him, no? ऐसे थोड़ी इसको पकड़ के लाओ और किसको पकड़ के लाओ, he has to be told. So to know the Brahman, which Brahman should be told. But in the sutra it is said, when you know Brahman, you obtain Param. In that case, the Parabrahma obtaining, if it is Param, its Lakshana should be different, exclusive. So this is the first reason. So what is the first reason? Because of which the Rigveda mantra is quoted as the second mantra to do the Nirdharana of the Swarupa of Brahman. And that has to be done as separate, exclusive. The Lakshanas will be, of the Brahman should be told, should be such, it will not be overlapping. That is the meaning of first thing, first purpose. In that purpose only, what is being taught, what we have to grasp is given. In fact, this is what is meditation. Knowing the Lakshana of Brahman, trying to pursue that Brahman of that Lakshana, when we eliminate everything other than that, we are nearing to Brahman. Like in search of anybody, he is given about some qualities. So in trying to see a person of those qualities, other people who don't have those qualities but different, we are going on rejecting. Through the rejection, we exactly reach. In the same way. One point. Second is what? Ki avisheshena cha. It was said without any visheshena. Then ukta vedanasya, but told that it must be known of that Brahman. That Brahman whose explanations are not given and which is told to be known for obtaining Param, Brahmana Vakshamana Lakshanasya, of whose Lakshanas now going to be told. वो ब्रह्मा जिनका पहले वाक्य में विशेषण नहीं बताए, लेकिन he must be known, that is told of that Brahman whose Lakshanas the second mantra is going to say, Vakshamana Lakshanasya Visheshena. Now, if it has to give the Parama Prapti, Parama Phala, Paraprapti as the Phala, one thing we have to be very clear in that. What is that? Okay, Visheshena, especially Pratyagatmataya Ananya Rupena Vigneyatvaya. This Brahma with these Lakshanas, which is going to be told in the future, if it has to give us the Param as promised or assured in the Prathama mantra, it should be realized as Pratyagatmataya, then Ananya Rupena Vigneyatvaya. It is not other than me, Ananya Rupa, and Pratyagatma, it is my innermost real self. That means what? When we are going to study the Lakshanas of the Brahman along with the Bhashyam, that study, that understanding should take us where? It should take us to our own Pratyagatma, not Anya Adyanas. Then only the Paraprapti is justified. So, Brahmavid apnoti param. So that Brahman's Lakshanas are told. With this Lakshana Yukta Brahman, when you find, you will be finding the Param that is said. Now, if that Param obtaining, be attentive, if it is not found as my own self, then it will not be Param. It is something other than me, and anything other than me is Jada and Nashwara, then it can never be Param. In other words, what? The Lakshanas of Brahman, which we are being told, we have to discover that in our own Pratyagatma as Ananya Atma. That is my own. Ananya means not other than me. Pratyak Atma means the innermost self. There are so many layers, Annamaya, Pranamaya. Them also we take as an Atma. One, in the ignorance of the real Atma. Second, for the sake of transactions outside. If I don't consider my body as me, I will not command my body to walk, to work. तो उसको आत्मा के रूप में व्यवहार के लेना पड़ता है, but it's not pratyagaatma, because at one higher level it can be rejected as anatma, but that atma which cannot be rejected as an atma is called pratyagaatma. Clear? And that pratyagaatma is this Brahman with these lakshanas. In that way we have to recognize. And the sutra, the second sentence which will be told, when each of those words analyzed really at the deepest level of understanding, we come to know that those Lakshana Yukta Brahma is nothing, never other than me. It is my own inner self. Therefore, what is said? Don't study the Brahma Vidya or the Brahma Lakshanas as you study any of this subject outside. If you do, and how do you do that? Only when you live at the thought level only. It's not only thought knowledge, it's a contemplative experience. In that contemplative experience, this Lakshana Yukta Brahma is found as my own self. Then only the moksha comes. Otherwise, Brahma Jnana to hai, lekin phir bhi living life like a Jiva and Deha and suffering. Then you have not obtained the Param. Then the Brahma Vidya has not served its purpose. The first thing is, its Lakshana should be told, so they are exclusive. Second reason is what? With this Lakshana Yukta Brahma is our own Pratyagatma. It is not Anya Danas. Like in any other knowledges of anything we are told, it is about somebody, something other than us. But the Brahma Jnana is not about something other than me. I am that Brahman. This is the second reason for which this mantra is told, or in this mantra, when you analyze it, this second thing should happen in us. What should the second thing should happen? That Lakshana Yukta Brahman should be found as our own inner self. Then only Paraprapti is attained. Third reason it was कि ब्रह्म विद्या फलम च, ब्रह्म विद्या का फल बताया कि ब्रह्म विदः यत् परप्राप्ति लक्षणम उत्तम उक्तम. What is the paraprapti lakshanam of the Brahman? As a phala told, no. Brahmavid apnoti param. So param apti is called a phala of this Brahma Vidya. What is the paraprapti also should be known. So first is this Rucha quoted. The quotation of the Rigveda mantra, first purpose of it is what? To tell the Lakshana of Brahman. Then in that, while studying those Lakshanas, where we have to be careful is that Lakshana Yukta Brahman should be understood as our own self, not other than us. Then only it will help us, not otherwise. Third one is what? The phala prapti karni hai. Paraprapti wala phalaka. Then one more step we have to go further. What is that? This Brahman with these Lakshanas, which is found as my own Pratyagatma, has to be found as Sarvatma. That's what third point. कि ब्रह्म विद्या फलम च ब्रह्म विदः यत् परप्राप्ति लक्षणम उक्तम. That which was said as the paraprapti, as the result of the Brahma Vidya, how it looks like? Tat sarvatma bhavaha. That is the anubhuti of the sarva atmata. It's not that I became Brahman and I don't know about others. Still have problems with everybody. मैं तो अपने आप में ब्रह्म हूँ, but जब भी लोगों से मिलता हूँ लड़ाई झगड़ा होता है. Then it is not paraprapti. That is why sarvatma bhavaha. And at that level of sarvatma bhavata, obviously, see how many things have happened. Brahma Lakshanas are understood. Second, that Brahma I have understood to be me, because of which my Jiva Deha Bhava is gone. And with this Brahma, me, I found the same Brahma as the Atma of everyone, or this is the Atma of everyone. Thereafter, I myself am Brahman, everything is Brahman. And in that Brahman, how can there be any of the samsara dharma of comparisons or competitions or relativities or raga dvesha? Kuch nahi. Therefore, sarva samsara dharma atita brahma swarupam eva na anyatu. Sarva samsara dharma atita brahma swarupameva. So that is the anubhuti where all the lakshanas of the dharmas of the samsara are transcended. In this way only we have to find ultimately na anyat iti etat pradarsanaya esha ruku udaharyate. To make us very clearly understand this point, this Rigveda mantra has come. So Brahma Lakshanas thoroughly understand. In the thoroughly understanding of that Lakshana, we will definitely will have to come to know that this Lakshana Yukta Brahma has to be my own self. Having discovered my own self, from that standpoint, when I look around, everything in this world, whatever is seen, of all of that, the Atma is same Atma which is in me. It is called as Sarvatma Bhava. And when that Sarvatma Bhava is discovered in that experience, Sarva Samsara Dharma are dissolved. There is no samsara at all. So in the Brahma Jnanam, how many things are achieved? Atma Jnanam ho gaya. And then everybody is same Atma, that is obtained. As a result, so all the samsara dharma of Raga Dvesha Ityadi, they are all dissolved. Therefore, Atyantika Samsara Abhavaha. Then Paraprapti Rupa Nitya Niratisha Anandaha. Both are obtained. When this next sentence is thoroughly understood in its exhaustive explanation, then the whole Upanishad, the second Valli especially, guides us only in achieving these two things. Brahmavidapnot param sutra vakyam, and its first explanation is the Lakshana of the Brahma. Then to understand this Lakshana Yukta Brahma, Whatever the sadhanas have to be done, that are explained in the entire Valli. See, we are getting the Shravanam is going on, but Grahanam mein thoda mechak rahe hai. But once, twice, thrice again, when you listen or study, slowly the Grahanam happens. Oh ho! Brahma, if I obtain, if I know it, I obtain the Param. That is the first mantra. But the Brahma Lakshanas are not told. Then how can I go and search it? The Lakshanas are told. But this Lakshana Yukta Brahma has to be found as our own Pratyagatma. Otherwise, my own Jiva Deha Bhava will not go away. My own personal samsara with myself will not go away. Thereafter, this Brahman, now which is discovered as my own Atma, has to be discovered as the Atma everyone. Else, my samsara with others will not go away. And really, this way, when the Brahma Lakshanas are understood, and that Lakshana Brahma is understood as my own self, and then when this self is understood as self of everyone, naturally there will be no samsara dharma left to make us a samsari. I am Brahman. I have my own Brahma Lakshana. I gave up that. Then I took up some other Lakshanas which made me as Brahma, as samsari. Like you are a listener, you have your own lakshana of coming to the class regularly, seriously. But suddenly what happened, you have taken up some other lakshanas, giving up this, then you became non-listener and some worker or samsari in the world. Your main lakshana is to be regular to class. In the same way, I am Brahman, my lakshanas are these. Somehow, for one reason, I just left it. I took up some other lakshanas other than this, which made me samsara. Now, what I am doing? I am discovering Lakshana of Brahman and I am finding they are to be me, my own. Therefore, I will discover that I am Brahman. Same is everywhere, Sarvatma Bhava. Therefore, there is no chance of samsara, which will come when only the opposite Lakshana of Brahma, with that we identify. And opposite Lakshana kya hai? Jeev ke Deha ke Lakshana. So, what Lakshanas are told of Brahman now will not be found in Jeeva and Deha. उसके टोटल ऑपोजिट होते हैं. Clear? And these lakshanas of Brahman are reality, and the lakshana of Jiva Deha are, though we perceive them and identify with them, but on deeper inquiry they are not real. That all will come slowly when we discuss it. Now, iti says ब्रह्म विद्या फलम च ब्रह्म विदः यत् परप्राप्ति लक्षणम उक्तम तत् सर्वात्म भावः सर्व संसार धर्म अतीत ब्रह्म स्वरूपम एव न अन्यतु इति एतत् प्रदर्शनाय एषा ऋग उदाह्रियते. To give us these three things, this Rug mantra is given as udaharana. Udahriyate means given as an example and are being given to us for our clear understanding. It is established. Udahriyate means this mantra is given. Now let us chant this second mantra 3 times. Then slowly we enter into the meaning of that. Tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानम् अनन्तं ब्रह्म तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म. Now, from here starts the explanation of the Bhashyakara, then the Purvapakshis prashnas, so beautiful they are. And then very tough discussion, very sublime discussion happens now on this Brahman whose Lakshanas are given. Now, little we'll touch today, and this topic I believe I must talk to you at least 2 or 3 times to get the clear picture. To begin with, what it is said here is, first to kya hai? Tattu, tat esha abhi ukta. So tat means what? Tat means tasmin eva brahmana vakya ukta arthe. So tasmin eva brahmana vakya ukta arthe means in that particular context of. what is said in the Prathama Vakya that Brahmavid apnoti param. That in that context, because that sentence, though gave completeness in one way, still it has left some vagueness in another way. The completeness given in that particular mantra is whoever knows Brahmavid, whoever is Brahmavid, whoever is the knower of Brahman, he will obtain Param. So, Prem. So, there is no doubt in that. Clearly said. But the other thing is not at all clearly said, left with vagueness is what? What is that Brahman? What are his Swarupa or Lakshana? That is not told. In that context. Tat means that. Tat means in the context of the Pratama Vakya, which said one thing completely, but not the other thing. So to complete that other thing, which is left out, what is that? The Lakshana Pratipadana of the Brahma, not done. So tat means that. Tat means tasmin eva Brahmana Vakya Ukkitarthe. So in continuation of that only, in addition to that only, in explaining that only, in making that complete only, Esha Ruk, this Rugveda mantra. Okay, Abhiukta. Abhiukta means is brought and told to you. Amnata. The Amnata means ki it is being given out or explained. Abhiukta means Amnata, Pratipadita. So in the continuation of first mantra only, second one, it is a Puraka. Prathama Vakya is Sutra Bhuta Vakya. Though it is a Sutra Bhuta Vakya, it is Sutra only. देखो सूत्र हमेशा ऐसे ही होता है, पूरक नहीं होते हो, थोड़ा थोड़ा छोड़ देते हैं. तो it has to be Purita. Therefore the second Vakya taken from Rug mantra makes it complete. That means what? With the Sutra Vakya we have to add this. This all becomes the goal and means, and the entire Valli discusses only this one. And all that leads to what? Discovery of Brahman as an Atman. Followed by that, this Atman alone is the Atma of everyone. After that, what? All the Sarva Dharma, Samsara Dharma are gone. Therefore, I will no more behave like a samsara. I remain same. In my Ajnana, with Upadhi and Upadhi Dharma, I live like a samsari. I remain same. Now I got Brahma Jnana. I found the Brahma Lakshanas to be in me. Same everywhere. Therefore, there are no samsara dharma. Therefore, there is no samsara. Very interesting. Really, when we enter into the groove of, into the track of understanding Brahman with his Lakshanas and all, the changes that happen in us, it will be so tremendous, so beautiful they are. But then suddenly it will not happen. It will only happen when Ishvara Guru Krupa comes. Till that time, we only struggle to intellectually understand. And through this intellectual understanding struggle, which is very essential in the beginning, at its own peak level, when that understanding is translated into our own experience, it is such a जादू. और मैं कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या कर रहा हूँ, ढूंढ रहा हूँ, जिस शब्दों को समझने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, जिन वाक्यों को, वो मैं ऑलरेडी हूँ अनुभव में. That is why Ashcharyo Vakta Kushalo Silabdha Ashcharyo Gnata Kushala Anushishta. These are all words are said for that one. You know, like we are now struggling to explain every sentence. You are doubly struggling to understand. But in our peak level, when you reach to that level, we find that, yeah, how much struggle I went through, it is me only. In everything, it is like, when you are in the car, first time on the steering, how tough and difficult and struggling it is to know everything, coordinate between everything and safely drive. But when you do 2 3 years that one, you say itna easy hai wo. And when some new person comes and you want to teach him, what do you start with? Koi mushkil hai nahi, it is so aasan hai. Because you it became aasan to you, but in your initial days, in the same way, we are in the initial days of trying to understand Brahman as our own self. But later on, the understanding, when it is substantiated by our meditational heights, we just make it so obvious. This is me all the time. Is it not? Like newly married girl, first 1 month or so, how new to her she is to that house, the friends coming, the relative coming. अब 5 साल के बाद जाके देखो वो तो चाबी लेकर मालकिन की तरफ बैठ गई. She is familiar with everybody, her house, the things, the people coming, going. सारा देखते देखते उनको ऐसा एकता हो गया, हाँ, कि she becomes वहाँ की क्या कहते हैं मालकिन. In the same way, it is because not only we are not exposed to Brahma Vidya, but again and again we are exposed to the Anatma, that the Anatma Tadatma has become like the horse to the waters. Some quotation is there, no? So easy it is, effortless. Or fish takes to waters, not horse. Now, reverse process when we do, we will see like more simpler than the fish takes to water says, I am that Brahman. And yet, instead of having that bliss of being Brahman, from millions of lives, we were having the blisters of becoming the Jiva and Deha. और ये अज्ञान जितना भी समय आप रख सकते हैं, और जब छोड़ना चाहते हो एक आध दो तीन जन्म का मेहनत है, that can be transcended. So, and what is the Rucha spoken here? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma iti. This is the Rug mantra. Now, the explanation of this mantra as a whole will be explained first. Then the Purva Pakshi will ask 2-3 questions. They're very tough. Then answer is given by Siddhanti. Then what is the meaning of Satyam? He will explain. In that explanation, if I can communicate to you and you can listen properly, all the revelation happens. Very subtle it is. So to see that what it is, we'll meet tomorrow because today we will chant Bhagavad Gita. Today is Gita Jayanti. So today we saw why this Rug mantra is quoted is to accomplish these 3 things. One, to do the Lakshana Nirdharana of the Brahma, which never intermingle or overlap with anything's Lakshanas. Vyavruta, Sarvato Vyavruta Vishesha Swarupa Lakshanasya. First. Second, that Brahman with these Lakshanas has to be found as Pratyagatma. Third, this Pratyagatma alone is the Atma of everyone. Then only Paraprapti can be said. And again the Paraprapti फल क्या है? सर्व संसार धर्म वर्जितो. There is no trace of even little samsara. Like the example of, once we know the snake as rope, you try again to be afraid like you were afraid when you saw it as snake. Into that samsara we can never enter. Is it not? In the dream, terrible experience, wake up, try to go back to the same dream with the same fear and emotions. It is impossible. अज्ञान में रह जाना बहुत टाइम लगता है. जिंदगी अज्ञान से ज्ञान में आने के लिए मुश्किल होता है. बट वन द ज्ञान dawns, you cannot go back to अज्ञान. You can act you are an अज्ञानी. Like, do you know cooking? I'll say I don't know, because if I say I know, they will tell me cook. Is it not? Therefore, to escape I may, but if I know it, I know it. More intimate is the experience of Aham Brahmasmi. How will it go away? It won't go away. That means samsara dobara nahi hoga. That's the point. So, what is the Brahma's Swarupa Lakshanam? Satyam Jnanam Anantam is a Swarupa Lakshana of Brahma. And what is Tatastha Lakshanam? We will see how it is described. But a very good discussion starting from tomorrow, which is very crucial. Like you studied in Mandukya Alata Shanti, how it was found that Dvaitam is Mithya, Advaitam alone is real. That grade of subject is this one, that level of subject. At par with it, not even little lesser than that. Only these 2 days and these 2-3 paragraphs up to the explanation of this mantra. And more questions will come, that also lies only to substantiate these 2-3 paragraphs main knowledge. Come, let us study tomorrow. Sarvam Om Parabrahmacharanaarvindarmanastu. Om 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 ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Let us do chapter 2 chanting of Gita Ji. That should be enough for us. Then after Patanjali Yoga Darshanam for some time, we'll chant chapter 6 also. During Vishnu Sahasranama, we'll chant 11th chapter. Then evening, let us see the 9th and 15th and 18th, like that we do. Clear? Today is Gita Jayanti. Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. So studying Gita is equivalent to Upanishad study only. Bhagavan Krishna, out of his compassion, through Arjuna, gave for the entire mankind all the sadhanas, both for bhukti and mukti in this Gita Mata. So, if one text, if it is to be recommended for the study, understand, practice to get the outer success and inner unfoldment, it is Bhagavad Gita. Upanishads never talk about the outer achievements. They are exclusively for the inner spiritual unfoldment only, which is the ultimate goal. So let us do Om Gita Jayantyam Shubhaditau Gita Mato Krishna Paramatmana Veda Vyasasya Ganapatehe Anugrahena गीतोक्त अर्थस्य अनुभव प्राप्ति अर्थम गीतादि समस्त शास्त्राणां विश्वव्याप्य प्रचारार्थम साधकानां विघ्न निवारणार्थम श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता शास्त्रस्य द्वितीय अध्यायस्य पारायणं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. Please bring all the devotion, concentration. Try to enjoy it. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Chapter 2. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Athadvitiyodhyayah Sankhya Yogaha Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tatha Krupaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Vishedantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha. श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन क्लैब्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहं संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हावरिसूदन. गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान् न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयः यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नं न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमा वसपत्नमृद्धं राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यं। संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशं गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः। तमुवाच हृषीकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विसीदन्तमिदं वचः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासो न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परं देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मोह्यते मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तान् स्थितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोऽमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः तु अनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत य एवं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययं कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकं वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम् तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमद्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययां सम्भावितस्य च कीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते भयादरणातु परतं मंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां सत्त्वं बहुमतः भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्यवादांश बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम् हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसि महीम् तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि एषा ते भीता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखा हिनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनां यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्य विपश्चितः वेदवादरताः पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां दया महत्चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्यविषया वेदा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्तु कर्मणि योगस्तः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृतदुष्कृते तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितधि किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किं श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्रानविस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसवं मनः तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषवियुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः आपूर्यमाणमचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमाप प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यते स्थित्वा स्यावन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छते ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे सांख्ययोगो नाम द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः गीतामात्रे नमः। तत्सत् कृष्णचंद्र परमात्मा परब्रह्म चरणारविंदार्पणमस्तु। Thank you. See that beautiful chantings. I'm concluding. We'll do our Yoga Sutra and one chapter Gita, then continue whole day.